helvete av.
Again, otherwise we cannot transit the canal. And when they told me this, it's like...
Last week in Round Sailing, we did a complete service of our Volvo Penta engine. We explored the surroundings in Linton Bay and made friends with the monkeys. On New Year's Day, we left Linton Bay to sail to Colón to do the measuring of the boat, which is step 1 in the canal procedures. We had called the canal authorities a couple of days earlier and booked the measuring of the boat. We were able to choose the date and time, and we could have had a time already the day after if we wanted to.
We have 14 nautical miles left to the opening of the pier arms in Colón. And after that, I think it's only 2 miles into the flats, which is the anchorage. So we will anchor right in the area of where all the ships goes, and behind the big container central, and it will be interesting. So tomorrow morning they're coming out to the boat to measure it, and after that we can actually go and pay the fee for the canal. And when we have paid, we can also get our date to transit. So yes, the weather isn't perfect today. It's very cloudy and a lot of squalls. Yeah, the wind picked up a little bit, so now we're actually doing around 7 knots. We're wing on wing. The wind also shifted a little bit, so maybe we have to move the head sail. What do you say?
Yeah, no, yeah. The angle is really bad now. It's picking up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there have been some squalls all morning coming through, and the wind is changing direction quite a bit when they come through. And right now we're wing on wing, so we don't have much to play with. So right now we can't really go the course that we want to. I think we need to take down the pole in a couple of minutes here.
Another squall came over us, and at the same time our microphone started to malfunction.
So it's starting to get pretty crowded. If you look at the AIS and the plotter, there's a lot of boats at anchor here. And yeah, in a couple of minutes we'll sail just straight through this anchorage. A couple of ships, and there's another anchorage in that direction with a lot more boats.
Sailing in an area like this, with a lot of ships at anchor and a lot of service boats coming and going, keeps you alert and concentration is acquired.
The flats is a dedicated anchorage area within the pier arms, and it's free to anchor here.
So this is the so-called flats, the anchorage where you can wait for your canal transit. We are also going to do the measurement of the boat here. And yeah, we arrived here yesterday, and right now we're waiting for the guy from the canal company to arrive, and we don't know what time he will come. Most likely it will be before noon, but you never know. Yeah, the anchorage is in the middle of an industrial area. There's a container terminal over here, and on that side it seems like they're building some new call it oil cisterns. And the marina, Shelter Bay, is on that side of the inlet, and the first couple of locks in the canal begins over there. So we'll see. I mean, we're going to ask this guy from the canal company if it's possible to call a taxi boat to go from here into Colón to make the payment for the canal transit. If that's not possible, because it's not possible to take the dinghy into town from here. It's too far, and we don't know if you can land the dinghy anywhere. So if it's not possible with the taxi boat, I guess we have to take Ron over to Shelter Bay Marina, leave her there, and take the bus all the way around into Colón to go to the bank. And then after we made this payment, the canal transit fee, and also the deposits, you make a call to the canal company like half an hour after you paid, and then you can arrange a date for the transit. It's exciting. A lot of bureaucracy and paperwork, but it will be an experience to go through the canal, that's for sure.
So this anchorage is a little bit different from the other anchorages we've been in here in Caribbean. So instead of having palm trees and beaches as your neighbor, this is our neighbors right now. Look, they are sending it in the water.
Yeah.
See that? A big crane.
You can hire an agent for the canal procedures, and he will book that measure for you, and if you have an agent you don't need to pay a deposit. But as we save around $500 to $600 in doing it ourselves, it was an easy decision for us.
12 3.5 meters.
3.5 meters, excellent.
All the people working within the Canal Authority speaks English.
Imagine this is the chamber. We have center chamber,
Yeah.
nested. The most powerful is in the middle usually.
Yeah.
Side wall, and alongside this can be a top or another equipment.
Okay.
Which kind would you prefer for the transit?
So this type, you have 4 lines holding the package in the
Yeah,
middle.
each yacht or small craft
Yeah.
has to take the 4.
Yeah.
Even you're nested, you need to have the 4 lines.
Yes. No, but I think we prefer this.
You in the middle.
Yeah.
Or in the,
Yeah,
in
usually
the package.
this is the safest for
Yeah.
this type of vessels.
So I think we prefer that.
Okay, good. You selected center chamber or nested.
Yeah.
No sidewall, not alongside the top.
Mm-hmm.
You are less than 65 feet of length overall, so you're going to use a transit advisor.
Yes.
Meal available and sanitary facilities.
Yes.
At the moment, I put here line fenders and line handlers will be ready the transit day.
Yeah.
So you have drinking water and horn.
Yes.
Any signature here, please.
So we have completed the measurement. The admeasure was here. Jose, he just left. It's raining so much now and really thunderstorm. A lot of thunder. So he didn't take the measurement. He just took it from our registration papers, probably because of the rain. So we have got our ship identification number, which if we ever go through the canal again, this is our number, the number that we were gonna tell them. We got some guidelines, and then we filled in some paper for the deposit, the refund, and then we have another like a receipt. Yeah, that's everything is our responsibility if something goes wrong. And then we have these two papers, the handline lockage request and the measurement clearance and handline inspection. These two we will bring to the bank when we do the payment. And that we will have food, strong food as they call it, for the advisor, which is like pasta, rice or potato and hot meal and potable water bottles. And that you have a holding tank, horn that you can anchor, and then of course we're gonna rent fenders and lines. So yeah, done. Very easy. But keep in mind, if you're gonna do the measurement here in the flats, don't make sure that you are here in the first yellow buoys and not 100 meters to the side that we were, because apparently they don't go out there. So we had to take up the anchor and move 100 meters further west, and then they came eventually. So it's good that we called. I called several times. And yes, now it's 12:30 and we're done.
Our Swedish friends on Carlberg turned up, and together we decided to try to find a water taxi that could take us to Colón and the bank the day after.
The thing is almost completely full of water. And it happened maybe, all the rain came in 2 hours.
After searching through the web, we found a number on Noonsite to a guy that could bring us to Colón and the bank. We got picked up by Antonio, the water taxi driver, to go to the bank and pay the canal fee. We had been warned about Colón by many people, including the admeasurer, and it was sad to see how forgotten this city is. There were so many blown up buildings and just full of trash.
So we're finished, we have paid, and now we're ready for, we're not ready. We have to call and confirm that the money has been received, and then we'll get the time for the transit of the canal. So yeah, it was pretty easy. Other from that we had to pay in cash, a lot of cash. $1,875 that we had to withdraw in another bank and go back here and pay it in cash. But it was alright.
What a day! I don't think many people go grocery shopping like this. We're soaking wet. The wind has picked up and it doesn't need a lot for the water to just flow over. Antonio, the guy, he told us that now when we came back and we went into the port again, or to go to the dock, they charge you for all the bags you bring in.
Per bag.
So he said, yeah, per bag. They charge per bag that you bring in. So he said, yeah, but if you can buy some big bags and put all the food in there. So we had to do that. So now we just put everything in. So I hope it's not destroyed. We had eggs in one of these bags. Let's see. I hope it's not the one in the bottom. But now we have food, we did shopping. It was so nice to go to a real grocery store again. Oh, It's like going on, I don't know, it was so nice. We have paid the canal, what else? Yeah, that's it. I don't know what time it is. It's almost 2:30 and I think we left around 11, so... Well, actually it went faster than if we would have taken the bus from Shelter Bay. That would have taken like from early morning, like 7:30 until the afternoon. It was okay. We had to pay 20 going and 20 coming back to this guy Antonio, and then 10 because he took us to the bank and then to the supermarket. It's okay. It's cheaper than that we should spend than if we would spend time in the marina.
Yeah, and that's for all four of us.
Bad luck. We were just gonna go to anchor outside the marina Shelter Bay, and as I couldn't put the throttle in gear, and turns out that the whole wire to the gear or the wire to the throttle is broken, is off. So this is not good. Just before we're gonna transit the canal. But luckily we found the old wire that went to the throttle that we had in here, the old one, and it's still there, so if it's just long enough so it will reach in the back, we can use that, and we have to change the throttle to the new one. We have a spare one, so let's see if it works, and let's see if we can go to the anchorage today, because now we were gonna call the canal and get our transit date.
We don't need this right now. The lever is stuck in here, and we need this one for the new
Throttle.
Yeah, throttle package. So let's see if I can get it out. I made some really hasty repairs over at the flats. Took me just over an hour to get it work with an older cable, but it was too short, but anyhow we managed to get the boat over to here where we are now, just outside the Shelter Bay Marina, anchored. So we've been calling around all morning trying to find another cable, and it turns out it's not very easy. They might have it in Panama City, but we have the date for the transit on Monday, and it's first date today. So I'm a bit stressed right now. But I think I managed. I have tried to reroute the new or the spare cable I had, or I found, which is a bit too short, and now it's working. And now I just have to I have to change some other stuff as well to make it work better. But yeah, it's never fun when this stuff happens when you're when you have a time set or when you're on a schedule. Anyhow, it's good that it happened now and not inside the canal, because I heard there's the fee for delay is like $500 per day or something if you have some breakdowns in there. So I have a couple of hours of work ahead of me to get this sorted out, and then hopefully it will work. And yeah, that's how it is with boats. Never-ending story. What's your thoughts about yesterday?
I got a breakdown yesterday. It was too much. It was just too much. It was first this busy and hectic day with paying the bank and getting this boat taxi and doing like a big grocery shopping, like in a super hurry because the driver was waiting outside and all these things. And we came back to the boat soaking wet and then trying to get all the things into the boat. And then we wanted to leave the flats to go to Shelter Bay because we heard you can anchor outside, because I mean over there is so much easier. We have access to shore, we can go ashore, and we have some things over there and other people we could talk to and fixing the line handlers and all that stuff. And then, as Johan told you, the cable to the throttle broke. Super stressful. Oh, what are we gonna do? Maybe we can't go through the canal now. And then on top of that, our friends, they called the canal authorities to book our time because we had already paid the bank, and then you can book your transit date. And they did it for us, and they said that there was something wrong with our form that we filled in at the bank, and that we have to go back to the bank and fill in the form again, otherwise we cannot transit the canal. And when they told me this, it's like, this is too much. I just after such a hectic day where we were happy, like, wow, we got everything done, we managed, and then the engine, and then this is like, no. Oh, it was horrible.
But it's sorted now, right?
It is sorted. I called many people and just trying to find out what was the problem and why is there a problem, because we did everything with the lady in the bank. She should have made sure that everything was correct. Turns out that we filled in the signatures in the bottom of one of the forms wrong. I filled it in, I signed, when it should have been Johan who signed. Oh, now there's one calling for the engine.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me? Do you speak English?
Hola, buenos días. Okay, just got off the phone with a guy that works at the Volvo Penta store in Panama City. He will be at the office in 1 hour, and he thinks he has wires in the stock. So let's hope, cross our fingers, that he will have. We need 2 of them, and then we just need to sort out how we're gonna get them from Panama City to the boat here. We're in Colón. But that's another problem that we can just sort out. One thing most important is that they have them. Even if we don't get the cables, we will be able to get through and then be able to sort it out on the other side. But yeah, the best is of course to get the cables. Anyhow, the thing with the bank, so I managed to get in contact with the controller, which is picking up the forms in the bank and bring them to the canal authorities. He told me that the signatures were wrong, but he just sent me a new form this morning on email, and we managed to get Johan's signature in there, like copy paste or something. But we managed to get it from the passport, so because the signature has to be exactly the same as in the passport. Finally we managed, and it's okay. I have confirmed that because this was for the deposit. If this weren't gonna be correct, we weren't gonna be able to get the deposit back, which is like $800 or $1,000.
850, I think.
$850. And I have confirmed with the canal authorities that we have our transit date still, and we have also managed to get a hold of 3 line handlers. Great. I'm tired.
There need to be 4 line handlers on board during the transit, plus the captain. You can rent line handlers, but there's also a lot of people that want to do it for free, as an experience or to practice before their own transit, or for a smaller fee. There are online forums and a website where you can find line handlers, but also through notes in Shelter Bay Marina and Panama City. We found 2 line handlers from a note in Shelter Bay Marina, and the third one was one of our followers.
So this is the cable that broke, that we need to replace, or actually this is the replaced cable, but it's a bit too short.
Hur går det?
Here we go on. Yeah, since the cable broke, I also decided to change this, the bracket for the cables, because the old one wasn't in a very good condition. So we're changing that as well. The new one. Unfortunately, I didn't have a new handle, and the old one was so really stuck. Had corroded to the old one, so I had to make a new one.
DIY.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's not finished, but it will work.
It's the old fish hook.
Yeah, it is.
I had to sacrifice this one.
Yeah.
Funkar det?
Yes.
Ja!
Nu funkar det.
Du är trött.
So this one was the bad guy. This piece was what caused all the problems we had. Because we used to have double commando. One throttle inside and one out here. And this was the connector between those two. But since we removed the other one in Curacao, this hasn't performed very well. So, but now I removed it, and it's much easier to use the throttle now. So that's good. Everything is done. Now we just need to clean up everything.
Now you can rest first.
Yeah, that's good that we managed, because the guy with the cables, he haven't called back, so. But I guess we will buy a spare one when we get to Panama City. It's nice to have a spare cable on the boat, a long one. But I'm lucky that we saved one of the cables from the other throttle hand.
It was raining non-stop for days, and we've never had this much rain while being liveaboards. New leaks were found, and everything inside was damp and even wet.
Yeah, so this is from one night of raining. It's crazy.
We were lucky that there was no waiting time for transit, so we could pick our date ourselves. 2 days before our transit, we picked up the lines and tires.
So we have rented 8 tires and 4 long lines for the canal transit. And this cost us $100, and there's a pickup service included in that in Panama City after the transit. Yeah, and in addition to these tires, we will have our own fenders as well. So I think we'll be pretty covered.
Since run is under 50 feet, we paid $1,875, including deposit. The cost for us to transit the canal are in total $1,129 when the deposit is returned.
Join us next week when it's time to transit the Panama Canal. Thank you for watching, and we hope you found this episode interesting and that it can be a help if you're planning your own transit. If you liked this episode, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more videos.